What should I talk about? What type of content should I create? That's by far the number one thing that I get asked all the time by my prospects and clients. And to answer that question, I have to first say this big realization that I had in the course of becoming the online marketing expert that I am. And that is, all content essentially answers a question, especially content created by business owners, law firms, chiropractors, dentists. All that content is essentially answering a question. So what kind of content should you be creating? It should be content that is answering the questions that the prospect, the patient, the client has in their minds when they're trying to decide whether to go with you or not. My number one tip to do this, to answer these questions, is by just going to your own FAQ section of your website. You more than likely have one, and if you don't, I have step number 2. But if you go to your frequently asked questions section, you're going to find that you probably have a dozen there. And the problem is that there's no real human speaking to them. It reads in text and it's fantastic. It answers a question. However, what's going to be even better is a video of you answering that very same question. I did this with a friend of mine here in Dallas, Chuck at Backmenders. We basically had him answer a bunch of questions, and most of them were questions that he already answered on his website, but he didn't answer them with his personality and his dynamic range of emotions. Video allows us all to connect with the people on the other side in a virtual manner. One of the most beautiful things for me is meeting some people that end up becoming clients, but when I first talk to them on the phone or through a Zoom call, it feels like they know me already. They are even able to quote things back to me. And that's what video does. It creates this bond between individuals. And that is probably another reason why it does so well. Record yourself answering your FAQ questions from your website. Do that immediately. As soon as you finish watching this video, go do that. That's my top tip. Number 2, an easy thing to do is, as you're already working in your business and you're working with people, they're asking you questions. So you have the FAQs that are on your website. You also have the FAQs or questions that are being asked of you in real time. If you get a question that is somewhat different, yet good and insightful, you should make note of it. And if you can, as soon as you leave, sit down and record a video of you answering that question. It doesn't even have to be fully produced. It could be iPhone with your phone. I don't even have it on me right now. With your phone, decent lighting, and just go answer the question. That is content you can create for yourself. Think for a moment what's happening here. The content that people are consuming related to businesses, those pieces of content, the questions, are obstacles in the individual's mind. They're objections that they may be having as to why they should choose you or choose anyone in your space. So answering them will start to remove those objections one by one, and hopefully, if you do a good job, making them feel like you are the solution for them. So questions, that's it. That's what you're doing in work in your day-to-day already. Do it. Pop out your camera, pop out your phone, your webcam, and record something. Something is better than nothing, and that is great content, especially if it's of you just sharing something that just happened. And the bonus points is if you include a story of someone that you may have helped with that question. I talked today to an older individual who was struggling with back pain, and this is what and they asked me this question, and this is how I helped them or how I answered that, right? Those are great things to share. So that's bonus points. But if nothing else, just answer the question. And lastly, and I'll pop into my little browser here for a second. So go to Google and type in your space, chiropractor, for example, FAQ, or divorce attorney, FAQ. And you're going to get pages that have already been indexed that have questions. So if you really want to take it that much further, just go there. Don't steal their content, but definitely consider using that prompt. Where am I? Back I come. Using that as a prompt for yourself, because maybe it's something that you need to answer. Obviously, make sure it's relative to you. It's in a service space that you want to take care of, that you want to be known for. Don't answer questions that are not related to you or you don't care to take care of people's feet. Maybe it's not maybe it's a question about feet, but you don't want to work on feet. Maybe it's a question about immigration, but you're a divorce attorney, so don't answer questions about immigration, right? The content then will help target the individuals on those social media platforms. So then post them on social media, put some money behind it, but that's what you should be talking about. And what I will say as well is if it's questions that are related to your industry, you might even do really well organically because they're common questions. So if they're common, the algorithm might favor you and give you a fair amount of free reach because they want people to see that, because they need people engaged. So those are my top tips for learning and knowing what to talk about in your content. And in another video, I'm actually going to talk about how to use social media as insight and to be able to grab even more questions that are relevant and maybe even hot, maybe are specific to your industry and could really pop off because they're trending for whatever reason. Until next time, have a great day. My name is Teevee the Marketer, and if you need any personal help with any of this, feel free to reach out. Hit my website, www.rockstar.marketing. I'll be happy to talk to you to see how we may be able to help you become an absolute rock star and own your stage. Bye.